first to be born in the hospital. He had a 6-code Deacon. Who's the only president from Georgia? Well, think on that, and we'll be right back with Who's That President?
Bye-bye.
We're back with Who's That President? And here's your hostess with the mostest. Good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Who's That President? Who's the only president born in Georgia? Who had a Secret Service code of Deacon? Who is the only president born in the hospital? If you guessed Jimmy Carter, then you're right. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, President Jimmy Carter and his wife, Rosalind Carter.
Okay.
President Carter? Mrs. Carter? Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, our pleasure.
So, President Carter, I hear that during your presidency you had a couple of economic problems to deal with?
Yes, I did.
Well, could you elaborate on these economic conflicts and what you did to resolve them?
Well, there was quite a few things that happened during my presidency. First of all, there was an inflation problem that increased by about 20% in a short recession.
Wow, that's a lot to handle. So tell us, what did you do to help our country get over these rough economic times?
Well, to get over the increasing inflation and recession, I created over 8 million jobs, and I decreased the budget crisis.
Wow, it looks like you helped us out a lot economically. What did you do as our diplomatic leader?
I did a few minor things here and there as diplomatic leader, but nothing too big.
Please, Jimmy, don't be so modest. He achieved great things. This man brought Egypt and Israel together at Camp David Accord. He got ratification for the Panama Canal, helped build it, and then gave it to Panama. He also established diplomatic relationship with China through Deng Xiaoping. And he made the SALT-II agreement with Russia, limiting nuclear weapon use. However, we did have difficulty with the Iranian hostage situation when 55 Americans were held hostage in the U.S. Embassy in Iran.
Wow, that's a lot of accomplishment. Yet, I see here from my critics' corner that you are not a good communicator. That in your proposed energy policy speech, you told the country that they needed to start trying to conserve energy and everyone should turn their thermostat down to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit and just wear hats inside of your homes. And it says that the American people didn't accept this idea and that this idea cost you a second term. And now that has proven itself true. It is very humble of you not to be walking around telling everyone, I told you so.
That said, there should always be an honest attempt at reconciliation of differences before resorting to conflict. And I attempted to warn the American people, and they didn't listen. Yet I saw no need in arguing my point or creating a conflict, because I knew that they shall surely see the sin. Oh, but here's my favorite political cartoon they made up about me. I like this cartoon because it shows how I constantly struggled not only with the USSR, but also Congress about many issues, including SALT II.
Well, we haven't heard about your role as economic leader and chief diplomat, but tell us, what did you do as chief executive?
The things I did as chief executive was to grant amnesty to all Vietnam draft dodgers. I also established the Department of Education and the Department of Energy.
Not to mention the fact that Justice Stewart resigned from the Supreme Court and he replaced him with Justice O'Connor. And going back to the Supreme Court, they were mostly dealing with cases about free choice for women.
Rosalind, what will your husband be remembered for and what are his legacies?
My husband will be remembered for his diplomatic leadership and his down-to-earth personality. As for his legacies, I hopefully believe that the Carter Center will live on forever.
Mr. President, how do you think our lives have been influenced by your presidency?
I believe some people's lives have been influenced by my presidency by making the Department of Energy as well as the Department of Education.
Well, I guess that about...
Wait. You haven't even gotten into what this man has done for the community as a whole. I mean, you talked about his role as economic leader, chief executive, chief diplomat, and what people think of him. But you haven't even gotten into the one role he always has and will continue to show.
which would be what? State, which means
What he's done to show the ideal American.
oh, right. Mrs. Carter, would you care to share with us what your husband has done to show an ideal American?
Of course I will. When we were back in George's farming area, we used to always play this Easter egg roll game with the kids around. So, when we moved to the White House, Jimmy decided to carry on the tradition to hold an annual Easter egg roll for all the kids in the District of Columbia. But truth be told, he messed up the law by doing this, and his staff got away from that. But he's not kidding. On top of that, he was also a Sunday school teacher, and he went to a Willie Nelson concert at the White House. On top of all this, we sent our child to the public school to show our church in the public school.
Very interesting. Bravo, Mr. Carter. That's all the time we have today. Thanks, President. Thanks, Mrs. President and Mrs. Carter, for joining us today. And see you next time on Who's That President? Have a good day, everyone.